Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. I don't know why, but I thought that maybe I needed to do just a bit of explaining on this week's segment, in some fairness to all of you, my loyal viewers. So, for any of you that may have been watching for any amount of time, perhaps you think that this is the most negative puppet you have ever seen. Please know my motives, people, and the real purpose in making this channel and these video segments. You had to have noticed by now the quote at the first from my good friend Steve Snyder. Steve and I have had many a good conversation over the years regarding the filth and corruption we have witnessed, especially of late, and it struck me a while back that while there are many commentary channels on YouTube and Rumble, not many were covering some of the topics that we had discussed. And so began Puppetocracy as a channel. My sole purpose and intent is, and always will be, in educating you, my loyal viewers, on things largely kept silent by otherwise not spoken in mainstream media circles. I want the light to shine on the darkness, and I will always say the private things out loud. I fear none of the woke censors of YouTube. You and I both know fully well that they hold no power over the truth. And as you have read by this point, you can put the truth anywhere. The only real ramifications I have suffered to date are that YouTube and Rumble are not promoting my channel, now 7 months into this journey. You will see many commentators on YouTube and Rumble self-censoring in order to quash keywords that they know the algorithms will demonetize over. Folks, this puppet will never do that. I have to live with myself and my conscience and will never sugarcoat the truth. If by the grace of God they ever do promote my videos and viewership increases, I will be overjoyed. If that never happens, I will be all right. Thankfully, at present time, I am in a place financially to where I am not depending on income from content creation to feed my family. And now, my viewers, on with the show. Have any of you been paying attention to the tsunami of illegal immigrants flooding into the United States over the past 4 years? Have any of you wondered why the felon-in-chief and his minion Alejandro Mayorkas have done as they wished in breaking U.S. immigration laws left and right, all while the U.S. Congress and courts looked the other way? Who actually controls the U.S. immigration system, and to whom is a felonious U.S. president held accountable legally, morally, and ethically? The way it is currently established, the United States Congress passes immigration bills, the United States President signs those into law, and various alphabet agencies are tasked with implementing those laws. Now, before going much further, allow this puppet to state my dissatisfaction with unconstitutional alphabet agencies dictating anything in this land, much less in important areas such as immigration. Anyone besides myself see the violence that took place in New Orleans on New Year's Day? Yep, had our U.S. immigration system done due diligence and stopped acting with wokeness their top priority, they would have noticed decades ago that the immigrants from mostly strict Muslim nations seem to be beholden to pain, suffering, and misery, and also love to spread their brand of Sharia law far and wide as their illicit, quote, holy book directs their perverted minds to do so. But that is a topic for another video entirely. So what if a corrupt leader such as Felon Joe, who is about to finally leave the stolen office, decides to ignore the law of the land as passed by prior Congresses and presidents? Well, my viewers, from all that we have just witnessed, that would be absolutely no ramifications for him whatsoever. Yep, we've just seen that, and its horrific results played out before our bewildered eyes. A do-nothing Congress and courts held Felon Joe and crooked Mayorkas to absolutely zero responsibility for their crimes, and we the people sat back and idly watched it all go unimpeded. So what is the state of the U.S. immigration system and a joke called the Department of Homeland Security at the present time? Well, funny you ask that, because this puppet is about to expound. You see, my viewers, there are numerous regional United States Customs and Immigration Service, or better known as USCIS, offices, processing centers scattered all across the United States. In fact, there are currently 136 such field offices as shown, though some states have none and others have multiple. Would it surprise you any if I told you that they do not treat applicants the same at all locations? Wow! Here's an account, folks, not from a letter writer this time, but from a personal friend of this puppet. My wife is a foreign national who came here in 2020. In December of that year, she was awarded a 2-year green card, read visa, that allowed her to remain in the United States for another 2 years. Keep in mind that we were married in early 2020, and she has been my wife ever since. Moving forward 2 years to November 2022, I applied online for her 10-year green card or visa extension that would allow her to remain in the United States for another 10 years unimpeded, or at least until we could apply for her U.S. citizenship. At that time, we were informed by USCIS that there would be a delay, and a letter was issued to us which extended the original expiration of her 2-year green card visa for an additional 48 months or 4 years. Keep in mind that all documents proving our marital state, including marriage license, joint tax return documents, and recent joint banking account statement, were all mailed to the USCIS in 2022 when the original 2-year green card visa was set to expire. Now, recently we received a letter from USCIS which instructed us to visit the Indianapolis USCIS office for a live interview in order for them to award her 10-year green card visa. What happened to us next was shocking, to say the least. The USCIS agent in Indianapolis denied our request, stating that we did not have enough proof of our good marital status, and they were now requesting that we mail in recent joint tax statements, bank statements, a letter from my mother, etc., in order to prove that we were in fact lived together and were not committing immigration fraud through what is commonly called a scam marriage. That, my friend, is a slap in the face and a kick in the teeth to this lifelong patriotic tax-paying citizen who has never had a single run-in with the law. I pointed out to the USCIS agent in Indianapolis that there is no law in the books stating that a married couple must file joint taxes or have a joint bank account. The agent smiled and stated that they were only requiring proof. Ha 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 ha. This would be funny if it were not for the immigration crimes committed in broad daylight before all of us to easily see the past 4 years under a felon in the White House. Where to even begin? Millions of illegal trespassers, I will not even call those immigrants, are now taking up space on American soil, getting freebie handouts by the millions, and even taking mine and your jobs. All while my wife and I tried to go the legal route and get slapped in the face claiming our marriage is a farce. That is crooked and criminal, to say the least. You want to know what is even worse, viewers? This friend informed this puppet that the Indianapolis USCIS office is playing strict militant games with all applicants, while other states are letting applicants have their green cards with almost no questions asked. So why would the citizens of Indiana be treated like it is USMC boot camp in order to get their spouse's visa approved, while those in other states simply receive theirs through the mail with no hitches whatsoever? You tell me, but something smells foul here. I know another man who brought his wife here from Central America a number of years ago, again to the state of Indiana. This man had to take a minimum of 5 separate trips to Indianapolis and back in order to get her a green card visa, 3-hour trips each way. I remember well the toll this took on him and his family. And another woman who came here from abroad told me that the Indianapolis USCIS office cost her multiple headaches in getting her green card and visas approved, including multiple trips to the state capitol and back. If this puppet did not know better, I might say that someone in Indianapolis power tripping with people's families and ability to lawfully remain here in the United States just for kicks and grins. President Trump, if you by chance hear about this video or the truth this puppet is telling, please investigate this Indianapolis USCIS field office pronto, as there seem to be some corrupt players involved in that office. Viewers, I will leave you with this for now in stating that the U.S. immigration system is a mess, and I certainly hope the incoming president can straighten out the misdeeds of a criminal who is just now leaving office after 4 excruciating years of pain, torture, and suffering. Good night, my loyal viewers, and sleep well.